Morning, guys. Welcome to Coffee Chat. Guys, what a beautiful morning it is. I came out here. It looks like we've had a bit of a rain, and the scent is just amazing. And on top of that, look at all these beautiful trees. I've got all kinds of colors changing there. It is just absolutely beautiful. And I know I come out here a lot and I'll say, wow, what an amazing day. I think for me, I'm just glad to be alive. It is just something else. Well, guys, I was reading an article this morning, and this one comes literally right off the Bank of International Settlements website, and it is saying that the Bank of International Settlements is going to be working with the central banks of France, Switzerland, and Singapore, and they are going to be doing some testing on central bank digital currency usages, and they're using DeFi protocols to do it. This is amazing. I mean, guys, the Bank of International Settlements, as we know, is the central bank of all central banks. I mean, so much processing goes through the BIS. And when you think that they are actually utilizing these major tests with all these central banks, and of course, Singapore is huge in this whole digital asset space. And you've got the banking system of Switzerland in there, and they're going to utilize France. I mean, for me, this is a tremendous deal. And it says to me, look, they are so close to flipping those switches when it comes to these central bank digital currencies. I think it's going to happen way, way sooner than the majority of us think. In fact, I would not be surprised if we see in mid-2023, June, July, August, somewhere in there, a bunch of countries switching over to their CBDCs, and certainly as we enter into the beginning of 2024, I think it's going to be truly amazing. Hold on. Now, for those of us that have been around for a while, you have to admit, we've seen lots of upturns and downturns and things like that in the economy, but we have never, ever been in a situation like this, and you can literally feel the change coming on. It's almost like you're on the threshold of something truly amazing, and it's extremely exciting, but at the same time a little, scary in a way. But it, to me, feels like there is something really big about to happen, a big, big change in the whole way the world works. Now, I know a lot of folks out there saying, hey, don't you understand? CBDCs are going to be, like the mechanism they're going to use to enslave us all. Well, look, I think those of us in this digital asset space, that's why we have to be out there and communicate our concerns to the people that are representing us in our various legislatures so that we have some influence in how these CBDCs come out and the legislation that crafts them. Now, you are going to see in totalitarian countries, certainly like China, and where all that social credit stuff is going on, people abusing the central bank digital currency system to their own ends. But in these countries, like in the UK, like in America here, like in other places around the world, where, we have some, influence in our democratic process, hey, that's where we have to get out there and really, really advocate for these privacy concerns and all these other issues so that we're not being manipulated and controlled by these CBDCs. But if we sit back and say nothing, then we might get what we don't want to get. That's where I kind of say, hey, you got to get out there and get your thoughts and opinions known. Now, guys, something else I wanted to address. I know that right now there's a lot of folks that are hurting around the world. I mean, you can see it. Inflation is just skyrocketing. Folks are making decisions. You read it all the time. I read lots of articles, folks making decisions about whether they're going to have food in their refrigerator, or whether they're going to pay for the heat or the phone bill or the gas or whatever. And those are really, really tough choices. And especially, if you're a young parent and you've got, little ones, it weighs heavy on a person's mind and heart. And I don't want to minimize those hardships. And especially, look, when we see people so displaced by all of these global conflicts that are going on, and what's gone on over there in Eastern Europe is really, just a heavy deal. And especially, we got to remember there's still all those people that are extremely displaced. And I have something I think is really important that, I want to get out there. Look, there are many times that folks around us, we may not even realize that are suffering. And a lot of people that I have found in my experience in life anyway, do a lot of suffering alone, meaning they don't really communicate, even amongst their own family, like what anxieties they're dealing with or what's going on and stuff like that. They think that they're going to look weak somehow if they come out and let you know, hey, I'm really, really struggling here. And one thing I've realized in life is this: it does not matter, like, all the stuff that we go through here and in the sense of what we can accumulate and all this and that. The reality is this, guys: when our story is over here, we're leaving all this behind. What really matters are people, are the people around us, the people in our circle and stuff like that. And so for me, I want to share this. Hey, why don't we take time out and share a positive word of encouragement with those around us and just let them know they matter. I care about you. You're something important to me. How are you doing? What's really going on? Can we talk? Stuff like that. And I'll tell you why that's so vitally important. It keeps us grounded, and on top of that, the only thing in life that we could ever potentially take with us when we leave here is other people. It's those relationships. I remember a story when I was a kid that I learned in Sunday school, and it has to do with King David. And King David, he had a baby, infant child that wasn't doing so well, was sick. And so he wasn't eating and anything like that. And, he was just praying that something, that little one would, get healthy and be okay. By and by, the little one died. And, David's ministers are like, oh no, look how depressed he was going through that. Now that the child's gone, it's going to be something else. Well, David got up and he cleaned himself up and went down and he got something to eat. And they're like, what's going on? Hey, when the little baby was, sick, you were in really, in depressed state, and now it looks like you're doing okay. And they're a little confused. And David said something really profound, and it really is true in my view. Is this? He said to them, look, when the child was living, I thought, hey, maybe I could, pray and perhaps, baby would be okay. But now that he's gone, I realize this. David says, he says, he won't come back to me, but I will go to him. Guys, the only thing in my view that's really, really going to last forever is our relationships with one another. And it's so vitally important that you take that time out to just be an encouragement to those around you. And I'm telling you, like I say, it costs next to nothing. It almost costs hardly anything to say a word of encouragement, but boy, can it pay some amazing dividends. At least, that's how I feel. So, hey guys, anyway, I just want to put that out there and share that look, as messed up as the world is, there's really always something that we can look at. There's some good in the world too. Now, I think it's been really great to see these developments and these CBDCs in this sense that when you're invested in this digital asset space, guys, I know it feels like everybody else is in it because that's our awareness. But the truth of the matter is we are so early. So for those of us that are in this space, it is going to be something else. And hey, we want to have a say right at the table of how these whole things are crafted out there. So anyway, well guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I have a great video coming out for you later on this afternoon. And until then, take care.